Hey, what is going on, everybody? This is Kerm here with an update on Supreme Leader from Card Culture Games. This video is going to be about all of the new player cards being put into the base game first edition press of Supreme Leader, chosen by you, the fans, from our Kickstarter, and we want to thank all of you guys so much for tuning in and also helping fund our dreams, making it into a reality, and helping Card Culture Games get off the ground with our very first project, Supreme Leader. We are very blessed to be able to bring it to you. I am super excited to bring you the next 15 characters to be going in to Supreme Leader. First, we have Genghis Khan. He's coming out of the gold faction, meaning he's from the ancients. And his special ability is that he can spend $20 to eliminate any player after votes are cast. Every time this special is used, Khan's production increases by $5. Genghis Khan gets $10 a turn, and he starts the game off with 5 out of 5 influence. That being said, Genghis Khan has a little bit of an advantage over his other competitors, being able to buy any possible card on the table in the buy pile, if he has, of course, the correct amount of funds. And each time he does use his special, he gets more money the next turn and for the rest of the game. So Genghis Khan is quite a bit of a killer, although he did kill millions of people while he was alive, and he fathered many more. Our next character, 2 of 15, is Maximilian Robespierre, coming out of the blue faction. If Robespierre is chosen for elimination via a vote in the elimination phase, he may choose any or all leaders to lose their money. Once per round, Robespierre can steal a card from a gold player. He makes $8 per turn, and he starts off with an influence of 2, and that might be because he was beheaded. Robespierre is known as a leader who can basically screw over the other people in play by effectively saying, if you're going to vote me out, even if you do, I'm going to take your money and put it back in the bank. So you really don't want to be on the public end of eliminating Robespierre, because he's probably going to take the money that you have. If you don't have any money, obviously this isn't a huge risk. Character number 3, and excuse me if I say this one incorrectly, Empress Wu Zatan. During the deliberation phase, Empress Wu can silence a leader for that round. That player cannot advocate until after votes are cast. They can still, however, use strategy cards. Empress Wu gets $12 a turn, and she has 3 influence to start the game, and she is coming out of the gold corner. Empress Wu is a very, very powerful leader. She gets an extremely large amount of money per turn, as well as she has the ability to make someone not talk. And in Supreme Leader, if you've played it before, you know that using your mouth is probably one of your best weapons in the game. So look out for Empress Wu. Our next character, which I'm super stoked about, is Vladimir Lenin. Once per game, Lenin can discard an event card that is drawn, negating its ability. Lenin can choose one player during the buy phase. That player draws a card from the strategy deck. If that card is more than $25, the player is eliminated. Lenin gets $5 per turn, and he starts the game off with 3 out of 5 influence. Lenin is fighting for the red faction. Now, Lenin is a very interesting character. We've never had a character interact with the event deck before. Lenin can basically make an event not happen. So if there is an event that challenges one of Lenin's allies or Lenin himself and puts them in a sticky situation, Lenin can, once per game, null that. Also, Lenin's a little bit of a killer as well, as he can send people to die via the strategy deck if they draw a card that is higher than $25. So a very interesting character. Our next one is Queen Himiko. Gotta say, the artwork on this one is fantastic. Thank you, Derek. During the elimination phase, after votes are cast, Queen Himiko can pay $24 to cast another vote on top of her original. Once per game, if there is a round that is stalemated, Queen Himiko can vote twice in the following elimination phase. She gets $8 per turn and starts the game off with 2 influence, and of course she is fighting out of the gold faction. Essentially, Queen Himiko is a little bit of a tiebreaker. Her special ability is that she can vote like normal and then pay $24 to be able to vote again after all the votes are already counted. So if that per se doesn't break the stalemate, or if she doesn't have the money, if it is a stalemate, the next round she'll be able to get 2 votes regardless. So this character really is great for breaking tiebreakers. She's going to be considered a swing vote in a lot of situations. Our next character, Huey P. Newton, otherwise known as the leader of the Black Panthers. During the buy phase, Huey P. Newton can take a strategy card from the discard pile and give it to a player of his choosing, except the nuclear warhead. While he's an active player, red cards cannot have their cards stolen or destroyed. So Huey is going to be a great ally to the red players, as he can gift them cards as well as keep their cards from being stolen or destroyed, really protecting them against leaders like Hirito or just other card abilities that might target his allies. Now, he only gets $5 per turn, and he starts the game off with 2 influence. However, he could be a great ally to the red players on the table. Now, our next leader, hailing from the UK, is Winston Churchill. Winston Churchill can null a gray or red player's vote once per round during the elimination phase, but not the same player twice in a row. Winston Churchill may draw 1 card from the strategy deck during his buy phase and give it to a player of his choosing. Winston gets $8 per turn, and he starts the game off with 5 influence, and of course he is fighting out of the blue corner. So it's definitely not good to be a gray or a red player on the table, as Winston can basically take your vote away. However, it does pay to be his ally, as he can gift you cards, although he doesn't know what he is gifting you, so it could be useless. Although it could help you. Thanks. That being said, though, the other players on the table, being, the yellow and the green, as well as other blue players, really do stand to gain from Winston being on the table, as he can help attack the other gray or red players and get them off the table. Now, our next leader is one that I'm extremely proud of that made it into the game. It is Corazon Aquino, hailing from the Philippines, coming out of the blue corner. During the elimination phase, Cory may cast her vote after all other votes have been cast. Aquino gains 2 income for every blue active player on the table. So this ability kind of works similar to Queen Himiko's, but she effectively gets to wait to cast her vote until everyone else has. So if Corazon Aquino is in the game, she actually votes last. Everyone votes before her, and then she votes. So this is the ultimate tiebreaker here, if there's ever needed for a swing vote. A lot of drama can be put on Cory, as well as the games that she is in. Our next one is one that I am very proud of. Nelson Mandela, hailing from South Africa. During the elimination phase, Nelson Mandela can only be eliminated if the UN votes for him. He can still be eliminated by player specials and strategy cards. During the production phase, the UN by majority vote may allow Mandela to double his production. Mandela gets $5 per turn with 3 influence, and he is fighting out of the green corner. Now, Mandela is a very, very interesting card because he is one of the only cards that has to cooperate with the UN in order for him to use his special ability. So if Nelson Mandela can effectively make it out of the first round or 2, he's guaranteed probably an ally in the UN as long as he did not send those people there. So if you are playing as Nelson Mandela, at the beginning of the game you have to be extremely strategic and kind of align yourself with people who are probably going to be eliminated because you need to align yourself with those beginning UN members in order to utilize your special ability. Our next card is Getilo Vargas. Getilo is fighting out of the gray corner for the nationalists. Red cards cannot vote for Getilo Vargas as long as there are blue cards in play. His vote counts double against red cards. He's hailing from Brazil, $7 per turn, and 2 influence to start the game. He's going to want to keep those blue cards on the table. However, the blue cards, as well as the rest of the players on the table, are not going to want that to happen, as they are going to want to get Getilo out of the game. And of course, he also can help be an ally to any of the players being persecuted by red cards, as he can help eliminate those red cards with his double vote. Our next player card is Josip Broz Tito, otherwise known as, I'm just going to call him Tito, because that's way easier to say.
It's Tito time!
Tito can vote twice against gray players. Tito's income matches the blue or red active player with the most production value. He's hailing from Yugoslavia, out of the communist red corner, $5 a turn, and 3 influence to start the game. So Tito can effectively take any blue or red player that has the most income value per turn and say, I am going to mirror your income value. I am going to now make what you make. So it pays for Tito to keep an ally of another red or a blue player in that he can match their income value, as he only makes 5. So it's key for him to be able to use this special ability to copy the income of another player on the table that is in the blue or red faction. Our next player card is Charlemagne. If Charlemagne is chosen for elimination via vote, he may choose to give an additional vote to any player to use during that round. If he votes in accordance with the gold player, he gains an additional vote. Charlemagne is hailing from France. He makes $5 per turn, and he gets 3 influence to start the game. Charlemagne is another tiebreaker character because if he's selected for elimination, he can give a vote to any other player on the board, and they can help stalemate that round, or they can screw him over and just vote for him. However, if he does vote in accordance with another gold player, he does gain an additional vote. So it is possible for Charlemagne to have 3 votes. His special ability should be able to save him until late game, unless all of the characters on the table target him, which we all very well know can happen in Supreme Leader.
Are ya ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain!
This one is one of my favorite of the fan-chosen leaders. Blackbeard is hailing from the Caribbean. He is coming out of the Gold faction, and his special ability is that at the beginning of the production phase, Blackbeard may choose to become any active player and use their special ability, Income and Influence. The chosen player cannot use their ability or vote for Blackbeard that round. This ability cannot be used on the same player twice in a row. Blackbeard makes $2 per turn, and he also gets 2 influence to start the game. Primarily, every turn, Blackbeard is going to want to target a player on the board and take their special ability and income value and be able to play as them. It also handicaps another player as they no longer can use their special, and they no longer can vote for Blackbeard. This next one is by far my favorite of the new leaders. Shout out to Ricky for putting this one in. Hailing out of the green corner, all the way from India, his special ability is the beginning of the elimination phase. If there are more than 3 active players, Gandhi can declare 1 player safe. That player cannot be voted for or have any card abilities or specials played against them in the elimination round. He gains $5 per turn with an influence of 3. So, effectively, Gandhi can make a player safe, no questions asked. They live on to the next round. However, he cannot use this ability on himself. So Gandhi effectively is the ultimate ally to have on your voting block, as he will ensure that one of your members will always live on to the next voting phase. And last but not least, we have our final leader to be announced. Queen Elizabeth. And this one is extremely simple. She's hailing from the UK. She is fighting for the Gold faction, and her special ability is that Queen Elizabeth is immune to the effects of strategy cards. She makes $10 per turn with an influence of 4 to start the game. You see, Queen Elizabeth, for cards like Crisis or Nuclear Warhead or any other strategy card out there, does not affect her. The only way that Queen Elizabeth can be affected or altered or eliminated is either via a good old-fashioned vote or by a player special. Alright, so that was all 15 of our new player cards. I hope you like them. I hope you like the artwork. If you chose one of these cards, I want to thank you again for backing our Kickstarter and also selecting one of these higher tiers to put a leader into the game. Just because these are in the very first print doesn't mean they will be in every print. However, we will work our hardest to have as many of them included as a mainstay in the game. We are looking for more character cards to be put into the game, so if you have any ideas or people you would like to see in Supreme Leader, comment below with who you would like to have put into Supreme Leader. Now this is Kerm from Supreme Leader and also from Card Culture Games. I'm signing off. And I want to say thank you so much for watching up to this point in the video, for caring about Supreme Leader. And if you would like a print and play, please send an email to the email listed below in the video description. So this is Kerm, signing off. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day and the rest of your life. Bye. Stay classy, my friends.